Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Morning Leap. This is where we set up our trade plan for the day, set our levels up and our hypothesis. It is Tuesday, August the 18th, 2015. My name is Doug McKay. I am the founder of Quantum Leap. If you want more information about this room, please send me an email at quantumleaptrading@gmail.com or give me a call, 647-545-8065. Before I get going, this information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. Only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves risk loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors can lose more than initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own plan and your own risk parameters. All right, so let's deal with the news first. Housing starts came out the best in a long while, but the market didn't react too strongly to it. I think the reason being is building permits were down, so we're seeing increase in building, but that could slow with the lack of increase in building permits again. There is no other news today scheduled, so just keep your eye on headline risk. So let's just start with our review from yesterday. Yesterday was basically a trend day that it's almost a rejection reverse trend day. But we opened up here at 80.50, failed to get above that key level, that 80.50 level that we've been watching and trading off of. And it's going to be one of our key levels again today. And they came down here and they tried to break out of the range down at that 76, came down to that 74, 75 4 times. So it looked like there's some weakness coming in here and that they'd eventually come down and break it. But buyers stepped in and then they just slowly grinded us all the way up, okay, into this 97 area, the 96.50, 97 area that we were watching for, and I'll show it to you on the composite, and then made a late day rally into 2100, and then overnight in the Globex they went up and hit that measured move at 2101.50, and then made a further move overnight up into that 2103.75. I mean, I don't make this stuff up. I mean, this is, these numbers are just playing out beautifully, and that's the nice thing about a mature market, is that the numbers are going to play very well. Now, we had a clear quadruple distribution, and what's interesting about this distribution is where it's at, 94.25. I'm just going to bring this up so you can see this. So 94.25 is, basically 94.25 up to 95 is the LVN of the upper distribution. And we've been watching this 94.75. Then you've got the 89, okay, to 87.50. Well, 89.50 and 87.50. I mean, and then you come down here and you've got the 80.50 area, which was a key area for us. So, I mean, I'm just showing this so you can understand how well the numbers are being respected right now. Okay, but before we get going into all this, let's just start with our basics. First of all, this measured move that I set up, the descending broadening wedge, that measured move has been completed now at 2101.50. The next measured move is up to 2126, but I would say we're probably going to come down and test some of these lower levels again. We did overnight, whether or not we come down again. Our overnight low is all the way down to 92.75. Just going to bring this up. So let's just start with the basics, looking at trend in the different time frames. Strong strength of trend, good slope, good separation on the monthly. The weekly doesn't change. It's consolidation with a possible head and shoulder setup. The daily, we popped back up yesterday through the 9 and the 20. We're now trading above the 9 and the 20, but definitely in consolidation. You got a pretty strong, symmetrical triangle here setting up on the daily. So, we poked ahead, we poked above it yesterday and overnight. Question is, is that going to be a fake out? Or is that going to break out again? So I'd be watching the break of this trend line right here today as a continuation pattern. So we came down, tested the trend line overnight, and which is normal for a breakout. You get a breakout, you come back, test the trend line from above, and then possibility continuation. So just if we hold this level right here at 93, more specifically 93.50, and I'll talk about that a little bit more when we get into the composite, because I'm watching for them to come down, accept this 93.50, get the shift of the microcomposite back up there again, and then continuation back up into the 2100s and higher. So, but just wanted to point that out. And then the symmetrical triangle, basically is like this. So we're watching for a breakout and to hold this. Just get rid of this. Sorry, gang, I'm still not feeling well. Going down but there's no real trend right now on the daily. Going down to the 4-hour, look to see if there's any trends coming into this RTH session. You can see that we have a trend started in the 4-hour. We created that tech gap with the move into the end of the RTH session. Overnight it came back down, closed the tech gap. Now we're holding above the 9. We've got slope, we've got separation, so the trend is still intact right here on the 4-hour. On the 30-minute, we kind of rolled over. You can look at this. Not a FUBAR tech gap, Mr. Sneaky, but a tech gap, Mr. Sneaky, led the way. In fact, you had a Mr. Sneaky and then another Mr. Sneaky inside, and then we rolled over. There has been a trend down overnight, but we've popped up in the last 30 minutes and we're trading above the 9. So we are, testing the trend, and a possibility if we can get above this 96.75, we'll violate this downward trend on the 30-minute. And then just going down to the 5-minute, you see that we've started a trend to the upside. Got a naked cross down here at the 93.75 area, 94 area. I am expecting a move back down here to test it, and I'll show you why. So bringing up the composite. So the big picture is, we're still inside this value area, which is the value area high. Just hold on a second. I got to check to see if my dates are correct again. I don't know why it keeps moving on me. All right, so it's still at 2107, the value area high, and 2060.50 value area low. So we're right in the thick of the microcomposite VPOC, or microcomposite value area that goes back to February the 5th. And then July 1st till now, both those VPOCs are sitting in that 87.50 88 area, plus the composite VPOC going back to the beginning of 2013, January 1st, 2015, or 13, I should say, is at 87.50 as well. Now, this VPOC, the one that runs from February the 5th, shifted from 93.50 down to 87.50. So what I'm watching for is now that we've gone up, tested the 2100s, failed to hold 2100, we've come back down here. Overnight low is 92.75. I'm waiting to see if they come back down here in the RTH, trade enough volume for them to shift the VPOC, the microcomposite VPOC, from 87.50 up to 93.50, hold that price, and then move higher. Our close from yesterday is 99.25. The 22nd till now VPOC is trading at 96.50, right where we're trading right now. So we failed to hold value up here at 2112 area, fell back, came down, tested these lower areas, found buyers, and then just been chopping around inside of value. And then we made a run into the 2100s, but failed off of there again. So the key to me today is going to be, do we come down to 93.50? More specifically, my key line in the sand is going to be this 89.50. Below 89.50, I think we're going to come down and repair some of the auction down in the lower distributions, possibly even come down to this 2080, 2079. 50 area again. But if we hold 89.50, then I'm looking for possibility of a microcomposite VPOC shift and a move back up to the 2100s and testing the 2100s and possibly breaking. Any surprise that the overnight high was 2103.75? I mean, a key line for us as well. You can see that the most current microcomposite is right here at 2103.50 as a value area high. It's also one tick below where they accepted value just before the breakout. So you can see how we gapped up, accepted value at 2103.75, and then broke out, made that high, tried to hold at 12 area, couldn't, came down, found buyers, chopped around in here. Now they come up and they're testing this 2103 over 2103.75 overnight, couldn't break out of value, coming down again to find buyers. Where's first stop? 96.50. Where's second stop? 93.50. So very key area right here to hold. So let's just go to the overnight and start moving our trade levels. Trade levels are going to be pretty straightforward today because, again, we're trading a very mature auction in this area, so the numbers are very clear. Well, the first thing we have to pay attention to is what's our overnight high, what's our overnight low. Overnight high, 2103.75, and our overnight low, 92.25. Right at the HVN of the one of the middle distributions. And then our VPOC is right at 94. Not quite 93.50, but close enough. All right. And other than that, there's no real information that we need. Here we are moving up into that 97.75. So that's a good thing my stop held while I'm talking. So how are we going to trade this? Well, right now we're back into yesterday's balance. We're in the upper distribution. I'm going to be using the 94.75 as my first trade area. It's the LVN, it's the CLVN, And if we hold there, then I'm looking for them to come up and close the gap. I do expect to come down and test this level either before the open or after the open on one of the opening swings. Our naked close is 99 and a quarter, so that's our target right now to the upside. And then just above that, you've got the 2100 with the range high at 2150. That's pretty simple. So we're going to take that value and range and use that as a breakout trade to go back up, test the 210150 and go up and take out the overnight high. The overnight low is below this 94.75 with the overnight VPOC down here with the key level down here at 93.50. So anything below 94.75, in fact, I'm going to move my stop up. Just give me a second here. All right, I just moved my stop up to 94.50. Just if we come down and break this, I want to be out of this trade because if we do break below this, then I'm looking for a move down to the 93.50 and the takeout of the overnight low, and then just below that you've got the 90 and a quarter, and then you've got the 89. I'm actually going to use the 89.50 because it's been very well defined on the longer time frame. I'm going to use longer time frame numbers on this, even though it's pretty thin. So from 89.50 all the way down to basically that 87, which is my target. So I want to be able to have room to get short into this 87.50 area. Our midpoint, our halfway back, is 87.75, very key right here. So if we break this 89.50, I even think you could use 90 and a quarter if you wanted to get aggressive. But I'm going to stick with the 89.50, get short into that 87.50. It'll be a real quick trade. You get paid, you get funded with the possibility of coming down towards this 85.75 HVN. So that's going to be the target below there. And then our value area low is just below it here at 84.75. And then you've got the 83.50 CLVN, and you've got this, this almost like a zipper zone down here. So rather than use 84.75, I'm going to use 83.50 and incorporate that. So I'm going to use a trade area that's going to start at the 84.75. So if they bounce off that number, I can take the long. But if I'm getting short, I want to make sure I'm below the 83.50. And again, another scenario where this is going to be a pretty decent trade because there's nothing really to hold us up until you get to maybe the 82.50, but I'm really looking at this 80.50. So 80.50. And then below that, your first target below that is going to be the 79.50, and that's the VPOC for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. 79.50. I want to be in that trade and funded by then, and then looking for continuation down back to test the range low again down at this 76, but my real target is the CHVN at 75.75. And then just below that, we've got the range low at 74.75, but I'm looking at 74 and a quarter. And then below that, all the same numbers we've got. This triple distribution, 75.50, 71, and 66.75 all comes into play. All these numbers are still there. Key line in the sand for lower price discovery is still below the value area low on the microcomposite and at that CLVN at 59. And then you've got all these levels. I don't have to go over these. You guys probably still have them on your chart too. And to the upside, I don't have to do any work because all my work is already done for me. I've got the 2101.50, the 2103.75, 2105.50, and then the key line in the sand for higher price discovery, 2107, 2108.75, the 12 level, the 15 level, and the 18 and 20s. And then above that, we've got that measured move at, this is no longer valid, at the 26, which is also the all-time September high. And then 32 and 34 above. So basically, it's pretty straightforward. Look for them to come back down, test this 90, 93, 90, 93.50 area, watch to wait and see if we get a VPOC shift, a microcomposite VPOC shift. If we do, look for a breakout above 94.75. Back up into the 96.50, 97.75, take out of the 99.25, and move back into testing the 2100s and break above range, and back into the 2100s and a move up to take out the overnight high. If we leave this 92.25 alone, anything above 94.75, you want to stay long into this 2103.75. But my hypotheses will change dramatically if we come down and take out the overnight low and don't hold the 89.50. My secondary hypothesis is we come back, break the 89.50, test the half back, and then continue down towards the 79.50 area. Pretty straightforward, and we'll see what plays out. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know what levels I'm going to trade off of. Okay, take a quick look at gold. Gold is still just going sideways for the last 4 days. Trading right now 11.15. Balance is in around the 11.18 area. We've got to hold this 12.90 area. If we don't hold 12.90, I'm out of my long on gold and looking for a bigger move back down to test the 1100s and possibly come back into this balance around 1191.90. If we can hold this 12.90 area, you can see how tight the value area here. Gold is coiling, so I'm hoping it's going to hold this 13 level and break out to the upside and get me a move up into the 36 and 45, with the big target still being up at that 54.55 area. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at in gold currently. Right now we are chopping around the Keltner center line. The 24-hour VWAP is at 96.25. We're just slightly above that. I expect to see some more chop going into the open in around this level. If we can hold the Keltner center line, a move to the to test the upper Keltner line, no surprise, 2101.50. And if we can't hold the Keltner center line, a move down to the lower line is down at 89.75, or more specifically that 89.50 area. You can see how well that plays out. Anyway, gang, that's going to be complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.